What's up, guys, and welcome to the Malkorok Fire Mage Guide. In this guide I'm going to be covering everything you need to know to get through the normal mode, heroic mode difficulty of Malkorok as a fire mage. So let's get right into this one. First off, let's start with talents, okay? So as we go down the list of talents, Temporal Shield is so much better than Ice Barrier on this fight. It really is. Having that heal back over time helps you get your shield back up so much quicker, and it's up so often that it's just such a nice bonus to have, and it will really help your healers out by taking that. Some people say Ice Barrier because of more mitigation. They're wrong. That shield being healed back is so much more important. It allows you to keep soaking puddles and not have to worry about things, especially being able to pop that as often as you can. Okay, the next row down the list of talents that we want to look at is Greater Invis. Okay, we definitely want Greater Invis for this row of talents. The reason that we want Greater Invis is because, again, if our shield for some reason is not up, we can soak with Greater Invis. Okay, it allows us to take 0 damage. It doesn't really hurt our shield much. We can just go in, pop our GI, wait for it to explode, and come back out, and we're good to go. Okay, GI is so much better than Cauterize on this fight because it allows you to continue soaking. So when you have Temporal Shield, you have Ice Block, and you have Greater Invis, you can really do a lot of soaking in this fight, and especially with Blink, being able to cover people who may have died, being able to get to that place after an Arcane Smash and get back into your section quickly is huge for this fight. Mages are extremely talented on this fight. For that reason, we're also going to be picking Living Bomb, because Living Bomb, it's a single target fight, so obviously we want Living Bomb. Now, in heroic mode, there are some adds that get pulled in. The problem is they don't live long enough to warrant Nether Tempest. We've tried it, it just doesn't work, okay? So do not try to do that. Living Bomb is by far your best bet on this. Okay, and then let's get into glyphs. And glyphs for this fight, as always, we want Combustion, because we're popping Lust, Heroism, whatever you want to call it. We're popping that at the start of the fight so we can burn him down in phase 1. So we're going to have the most optimal time to do just a monster Combustion at this point. So make sure that you've got Glyph of Combustion. It is going to really help your damage on this fight. The second one is Glyph of Double Blink. Okay, if you're doing the strategy where you soak, where the tank soaks and everyone else is spread out like we do, Double Blink is so overpowered because you can get out of Arcane Smash and get back into your zone to soak without losing hardly any damage, and you're always in a great position. Now, if you're doing the stack up, being able to blink out with that stun that the debuff puts on you is important. You can use it there, but again, that double blink, most guilds don't have problems with people running out for the debuff, okay? Most guilds have problems with people soaking their puddles right, and people standing where they're supposed to stand in phase 1. That's what wipes most raid groups on this fight. So I would recommend that going with double blink, so that way you always have that backup, and then just making your healers do what they're supposed to do, which is, you know, dispel you once you're out of the group. You know, you have plenty of time. You don't need to blink out of it. There are plenty of ways to get out of it. The phase is only 20 seconds, so I would rather have double blink for a majority of the fight than that single blink for 20 seconds being possibly good if I get the debuff. See what I'm saying? Like, Glyph of Double Blink is just going to be better in this fight. So your third option is really your choice. Now, some people will go with armors just to get that extra little bit of damage mitigation. Some people will go with Infernal Blast to spread it, to spread their debuffs to those adds as they do come in. Again, depending on how quickly they die, it's really your choice at this point how you want to go ahead and do that. But those are really the two other options, is armors or Infernal Blast. I don't really see many people using many other ones outside of that. So keep that in mind, that the two main ones are Double Blink and Combustion. Getting into this fight, like I talked about at the top, we are going to be blowing Heroism right at the start of the fight, as long as your guild's doing it correctly, probably. And so you're going to want to be pummeling as much damage into the boss as you can. Make sure you're lining up a big, meaty Combustion, getting ready, making your pre-pull perfect, because this is where we shine, is that burst damage phase where we're taking snapshots and then just exploding damage onto the boss. So keep that in mind. In phase 1, also what we want to be aware of is where we're supposed to be soaking pools at. Depending on your raid size, doesn't matter. You'll have a quadrant where you're supposed to be soaking pools. As a mage, we do not ever have an excuse to miss one because of blink, especially with double blink. We have no reason to ever miss one. And if you're Alliance Worgen or if you're an engineer, you also have double and triple the reason to never miss one in your section. Remember, it is more important to soak a puddle and die in the puddle than it is to let the puddle explode and kill your raid. What you do want to be aware of, though, is we have so many mitigating abilities. We have Temporal Shield, which again is going to get our shield nice and high again as soon as we're out of that explosion. We have Greater Invis, which is pretty much going to negate it. We have Ice Block, which will completely negate it. So we have several different abilities to where we should always have something ready to go when we're soaking, okay? There is not an excuse for a fire mage to have to do this, or any mage in general, to not be able to soak. There's none, okay? The only excuse is if you alter time like a Mongo and you accidentally alter time out of the pool, and then that's your fault and everybody's going to laugh at you. But again, for phase 2, depending on how you're doing it, if you're staying stacked up, again, you're just pummeling damage into the boss. If you do get the debuff, you run out. If you're not, you just stand out there and tunnel the boss. It's really your choice, but this fight is all about pure single target, kill him before he kills you strategy. And the nice thing about it is the only mechanics you have to deal with are soaking your pools. Now in heroic mode, you do have to dodge the little bubbles that are all around the room, but again, that's not a huge deal. The other thing that I do want to say about that is, as a mage, during the transition phase, clear out your section so you can pop Greater Invis. If you didn't have to use it, go ahead and pop Greater Invis now. And if you have any speed increase, pop that and go around and get those, clean up some of those orbs in your section so you have plenty of room to work with. You have plenty of room to run around and collect and stand in your pools. It's essential for you to do that. So that would be my only other suggestion, is to make sure that you're popping cooldowns and trying to help out, soak up those little balls in the Blood Rage phase if you're not all stacked up, okay? Because that's going to be really, really key to try to keep the room as clear as you can going back into your second time through phase 1. But I hope you guys liked this one. I hope it helped. Make sure you leave any other helpful tips and tricks in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.